Chapter 6 The Elephant in the Room. Bacchus sips from a goblet of wine while minding his fields. It is harvest time, and the grapes are ripe for the picking. He employs a variety of satyrs, fauns, and nymphs this time of year, sort of celestial migrant workers. There are rows upon rows of vines. A barefoot Kyrene dances playfully through them. She spins and twirls and leaps and occasionally falls, but she jumps straight up and continues to dance. Bacchus carefully removes a red grape from a nearby vine and bites into its skin. He tilts his head back and then drops the grape to the soil. He picks up another grape and tosses it to Pan. Pan catches the grape. "Tell me what you think," Bacchus asks. Pan pops the grape into his mouth. He chews and swallows it, seed and all. "Tastes great, Bacchus. You have outdone yourself again." "Pan, you give me too much credit. This vintage will not be as good as my last." Pan shrugs. "Well, I suppose when you drink the copious amounts that I do, quality is second to quantity. And I might say, this looks like a bountiful harvest." "Pan, you fool! Quality always comes first. If drunkenness is all you aspire to, you might as well drink beer with our Egyptian friends." "Hey, don't knock beer. Some of those gods are a lot of fun. And Nephthys, the goddess of beer, is very beautiful and sexually attainable. And I do like sexually attainable." Kyrene bounces back into the scene long enough to shout at Pan, "Swine!" And with that, she bounds back along the rows of vines. Bacchus laughs at Pan. It had to be said. There is a prolonged silence between the two of them. They both know what the other is thinking, but neither wants to be the first to bring up the unpleasantness. Finally, Pan relents. "Bacchus, what do you think happened to Apollo?" "I really don't know. Perhaps he was summoned to another realm." "Yes, maybe." Kyrene darts back between them. "Apollo is going to be just fine. Back before you know it." Bacchus opens his mouth to question her, but she has already twirled down the vineyard. Pan answers the question Bacchus was unable to ask. "She claims to have had a vision, that Apollo is safe and in good hands." "A vision? Where exactly does she visualize him?" Pan smirks. "You know where she visualizes him. Right between her legs." Kyrene bounces back to them. "Earth! Apollo's on Earth!" She pirouettes around Bacchus. "And Pan?" "Yes?" "Your swine." She leaps back through the vines. Bacchus thinks out loud. "Earth? I guess that wouldn't be too terrible. But I would have expected him back by now." Pan sees something coming over the hill that he wished he hadn't seen. Bacchus, looks like we have company." A chariot led by four-winged horses has made its way along the unpaved path leading to the vineyard. Watching the chariot rocking from side to side makes it painfully obvious that the driver is inebriated. It is Helios, once a great sun god, and now a great lush. And he appears to be on one hell of a bender. Venus rides at his side, holding on tightly to the chariot. Bacchus rolls his eyes and waves them over. Helios is barely able to control his horses. He finally gets them to a stop before they run over the oblivious Kyrene. Helios stumbles from his chariot, extending his hand in Bacchus's direction. Reluctantly, Bacchus shakes it. He goes to kiss Venus's hand, but she quickly pulls it away. Bacchus laughs at this. "Venus, I thought you would have wanted a private tour of the vineyards. Instead, you bring Helios." "I don't understand." Venus scoffs. "I'm here just to gather information." "Happy to oblige. But tell me you didn't just pounce on the first sun god who showed interest. I mean, seriously, you could do better." Venus snarls. "I want to find Apollo just as badly as you do. But Helios insisted we come here before he'd tell me." Feeling resigned, Bacchus engages Helios. "Helios, to what do I owe the dubious pleasure of your visit?" Helios slurs as he speaks. "I just thought you'd want to congratulate the one true sun god. In this scenario, I assume you're laying claim to the mantle." "Damn right. Listen, Helios, I'd love to have a nice long chat, but we're kind of busy here," Bacchus says. Helios looks around. Pan is pouring himself yet another goblet of wine, while Kyrene continues to flit through the fields. "I can see that," Helios says, "but I have such wonderful news to share." Bacchus figures if Helios has had his chance to make his speech, he might leave sooner. "Fine. By all means." Helios shouts and waves his arms wildly. "Apollo is gone. This brings a smirk to Bacchus's lips, but the words enrage Kyrene. She bounds into Helios's face. Ha! He's coming back! Back before you know it. We'll be seeing him soon. Bacchus really admires Kyrene's exuberance as she twirls away. He looks at Helios. I'll be sure to give Apollo your regards. Wait, what does your little twit know about Apollo's whereabouts? Venus interjects. Bacchus shrugs. Don't know. You'd have to ask her. Kyrene hears Venus's remarks and dashes to confront her. Twit, aren't you like the goddess of sleeping with other gods or something? Venus's smile is not a kind one. That's right. You've had but a small taste of Apollo. Let me assure you that the second, third, and fourth helpings are equally as delicious. Kyrene glares, but tears well up in her eyes. Venus continues her assault. There, there. At least you have your little drunken tryst to look back upon. Does it make you wet when you think about it? Kyrene charges at Venus, but is restrained by Bacchus and Pan. Still, she kicks and screams insults. Whore goddess! Whore goddess! Then she breaks into a woodland dialect that no one but Pan understands. He quickly covers her mouth. Venus, though thoroughly amused, is still focused. Bacchus, where is Apollo? Before Bacchus can answer, Helios screams, He's gone! He's gone forever! Kyrene escapes Pan's grip on her mouth. No! He's safe! He's safe! I can sense it! My visions are never wrong! Bacchus intervenes. Helios, listen to the lady. Helios suddenly becomes sullen. Bacchus, do you remember when I was the sun god? Bacchus feels sympathetic. Yes, Helios, I do. I was a fine sun god. You were. You had your day. Helios becomes angry. But then Zeus stole it from me. He stole it and gave it to his spoiled bastard son. Oh, Apollo, you're already the god of music. Why did you have to take light as well? Being a god can be tough. It seems we've all been replaced now. But this was different. I was called to Olympus and relieved of my station. The Anointed One received his prize in my very presence, in front of all the Olympians. You were there. Actually, no. Olympus is not my home. Must have been Dionysus then. Can't tell you vine gods apart anyhow. Pan detects that Bacchus is rapidly tiring of the conversation. What do you say you go on and leave? Helios looks down his nose at Pan. Who do you think you are to speak to me that way? Pan grins. He likes this. It's an awfully nice chariot. Would be a shame if someone butted it over. Shut up, goat boy, Venus snaps. Helios surveys the expressions of the others and determines that leaving is the better part of valor, but not before dropping a few last words. Apollo is gone. Apollo is gone forever. And I could not be happier. Helios stumbles back to the chariot and manages to lead his winged horses through the vineyard. Venus accompanies him, but she is clearly unhappy about it. Bacchus raises his goblet in a mock cheer, but Helios's words are of concern. Bacchus speaks to himself beneath his breath. Apollo, my friend, I do so hope you are safe.